Hey everyone, Eric here. In this video, we're checking out the Pome Expression Envelope Controller from the Audio Cultivation project. So the Pome is an envelope expression controller, and what that means is it's kind of a dynamic expression pedal that you can control using the level of input signal you're sending into the pedal. So that kind of equates to, like, if you play harder on the strings, you're expressing the envelope up more. If you play softer, you're not going as far. It'll all make sense once we kind of get up and running here. But before we get into using it with other pedals, we kind of have to go over the way to set it up, because if you're not used to using something like this pedal or a noise gate, it might be a little foreign. So what we have to do is we have to take our signal from our guitar. This is my Revolta Mondata. We're going to send that into the input of the Pome. And then from the Pome, we're going to go out to the pedal that I want to use, which is the XSV1 from Old Blood Noise Endeavors. And from the out of XSV1, we are going to the interface on my computer and adding amp simulation after the fact. So what we're doing is we're putting Pome at the very front of the signal chain, so it's getting that unfiltered, unaffected, clean signal from your instrument. And that way you have a lot of peaks and valleys in your dynamics and the volume of your playing that it can then use to change the expression parameters on whatever pedal you're using with the Pome. And then from there, it's pretty simple. We take the expression control from the XS and we run it into the expression in on the Pome, which is down here on the left. So let's go ahead and turn on the XSV1 here. So right now we have the expression control set up to control the rate of our modulation on the XSV1. So that's how fast or slow the chorus is. Now, since we're running out to Pome with the expression control, we have something plugged into the expression jack on the XS. That means we are controlling that parameter already. So when Pome is not on, so right now it's engaged, when it's not on, the bottom control right here acts as your parameter setting. So you can use it just like you would any other sort of expression control. But that's only the tip of the iceberg, because when we engage the Pome, we're turning on the envelope control. And again, that means we can control how much the parameters move by the dynamics in our playing. Now, the top control on the Pome right here is limit, and this kind of sets the overall intensity or sensitivity of how much the Pome reacts to your dynamics. So right now we've got it pretty low, which means I can play fairly quietly and not get that fast of modulation. Or I can play harder, louder, and get that speed control going up so you can hear it start to move in real time. I'll play a couple chords like soft, and then I'll move up the neck and I'll hit another chord like really hard, so you can hear that when I'm playing softer, we're not getting any speed fluctuations. And when I really hit that chord up at the top here, we start to hear that modulation come in. Now I can control the limit. I can turn the limit up to make it more sensitive to my playing, which means I'm going to start having to play lighter and lighter if I don't want any of that modulation to come in. Now, that's the basic functionality of the Pome. That's how we set it up. But of course, that's not all we're going to hear in this video, because the really cool usage of the Pome comes with different types of effects and how you can really get them to interact with your playing. Now we're going to switch over to the delay section of the XSV1 and hear how the Pome controls the delay time. Now, another really cool one is to turn the expression control over to the feedback. So this means when we play quieter in this specific limit setting, when we play quieter, we get less repeats. And then if I want to really have a note or a chord poke out, I can really strum that and it can momentarily intensify the repeats. So now what I've got set up is the Pome is controlling the Boss PS5 pitch shifter. We're in the harmonist mode, so what it does is it takes whatever I'm playing, it tunes it to a key, and then it pitches it up. So if I just play a little bit, the Pome's on, it's going to control the pitch with how hard I pick. Now that sounds odd, kind of cool, but I wanted to set it up like this so I could demonstrate a really cool feature of the Pome, and that is the polarity toggle right here. So in the up position, the harder we hit, it's going up to the pitch and then coming back down. Now, if we flip the polarity, it's going to flip that. So as we hit it, it's going to dip down and then come back up. Okay, so now I've got the Pome set up with the bat verb from Noise Engineering, and what I've done is I've set the expression control on the bat verb to control the shimmer, and that is the upper octave. So what I've set up is as I play harder, the Pome is going to turn that shimmer control up more. So now what I've set up is I'm using the Darkstar V2 with the Pome, and I am controlling the lag control. Now, the cool thing on the Darkstar is that you can set the toe and heel position. So what I've done is I've only set the travel like a tiny, tiny bit on the lag control to give me that warbly sound. So here's what it sounds like with the static knob. And here's what it sounds like with the Pome enabled and the dynamic expression on. I hope you enjoyed checking out the Pome in this video. If you want to learn any more about the Pome or any of the other audio cultivation project pedals, I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well out there. I hope you're staying safe. And most of all, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.